I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing the cracks, and every single one leads me right back to the side of the bed where you used to sleep. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do this. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing the cracks, and every single one leads me right back to the side of the bed where you used to sleep. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do it. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing the cracks, and every single one leads me right back to the side of the bed where you used to sleep. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do it. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing the to the side of the bed, drawn to the light. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do it. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing to the side of the bed, drawn to the light. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do it. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing to the side of the bed, drawn to the light. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do it. I'm staring at the ceiling, tracing to the side of the bed, drawn to the light. Now it's just a canyon, too wide and too deep. I know I shouldn't do it.
So welcome everybody once again. Welcome back to the live session. I said once again, I was thinking I was kind of recording the videos for the next class. So welcome. I will be addressing your questions, and some people have been sending questions already. So I will just
welcome
start
everybody
from the
once
top
again.
here,
Welcome
and
back to
then
the live
I
session.
will
I said once
respond to
again,
the
I was thinking
questions.
I
So I
was
want to
kind of
believe you can
recording
hear me
videos
clearly.
for the
So
next
I
class.
will
So
just
welcome. I
continue
will be
start picking the
addressing your
questions one by
questions,
one
and some
from
people have been
the
sending
first
questions
one
already.
on my
So I will
list here
welcome
from
everybody
the
once
top
again.
here,
Welcome
and
back to the
then
live.
so I'll pick the questions as I see them on the screen. So I have the first question here is from Temitope saying, okay, what is the effect of the publish button on our accounts? Does it mean that if the N8N trial days expires and we did not subscribe and the workflow is still published, will they charge us? Once it expires, your workflow will stop to function. So it is until you renew and your subscription is active that all your workflows will work. So if your workflow are there and your subscription expires, it will not work. That's how they make their money. Okay, so you must have active subscriptions before you can keep your workflows running. Web Vibe 3 says, I have installed Docker on my desktop, and the first day I used it, it worked perfectly. But the next day, I don't know how to go about it. So if your Docker worked the first time, anytime you launch Docker again, make sure the engine is running. Make sure that you have the engine running, and always check too when you go back to the container. Go to the container and check if it is running. If it is not running, you click on that play button. You click on that play button and then it will run. So you don't just say because you installed it the first time it worked. Probably you switched off your computer system and you come back, you have to start the container again. All right. So Stanford Net TV says, will other applications be integrated like Facebook when you are using localhost? Yes, you can still integrate Facebook when you are using localhost, but don't let us mix things up. The essence of using localhost, there are two different reasons. The first one is you want to learn. You don't want to pay for the cloud account, so you can use the local host. But when it comes to running your flow online, real time, 247, and you are just running it on your own local computer, you have to make use of the cloud. It is the cloud that will ensure that your workflow runs every now and then, even when your system is not powered on. So far, you have triggers like maybe when email comes or on form submission or anything, you need the cloud account to be able to use it very well. But if you are learning using local host, sure, you have a way around it that you can still, enjoy your anything on your local system. But you have organizations, big organizations that they have servers, big servers that runs 24/7. They can still run their own workflow locally because they will put on their system 247 so they can use it. So for us, we are starting, the local host is just to learn. Okay. Another question here is from Olatokunbo. So I want to ask, can there be a multiple input when executing workflow from form submission? Yes. In fact, when you on these places, you have switch, you have merge, there is merge there. So you can merge data of multiple streams. You can merge data of multiple streams together. So you can still do that. So straight answer to your question, Olatokunbo, yes. Aja Ma Bidemi, suppose I export my flow from the cloud to the one hosted on local machine, will it still maintain the same capability? Yes, but you will still need to go inside your configuration and ensure that what is supposed to be there is there. So yes, but if you rely on something online like Google and all those things, it's not the single in the cloud. Connection is seamless. When you are doing it on your local system, it's something else. I think that's the lesson I pushed out for today. How to get your Google credentials locally. That's another thing entirely. Yeah. Um the challenge has been great from Emmanuel. Okay, good. Oluwakade, thank you. Thank you too. Abdurrahim, after building on the local host, how can I host for third party to access it? I don't understand. You want somebody else to be able to use the same thing, or you've built for somebody. If you've built for somebody, you are hosting it for that person, then you will change all the credentials to the credentials that the person will be using. For example, email, for example, OpenAI keys, and some other things. So you will change it to that person's keys and credentials. The growths, I don't have the access to the quiz link. Quiz ended this week on Thursday. So the next week's quiz will soon be out and I will share the link. So the link is always olalekanadieko.com/quiz. So that is the URL for the quiz, olalekanadieko.com/quiz. So that is where you'll be getting the quiz. So for next week, you will see it probably Tuesday. I will just give us a day or two to complete it and we'll move on from there. I don't have access to the quiz. Okay, I think that's the question. Wait, the questions are moving very fast now. Oluwayemisi, okay, before the Oluwasomi, how do we embed the bots in a website? You want to embed it in a website. You saw where I demonstrated, let me open one workflow here, where we demonstrated to the public. So you copy that URL and you need somebody that knows how to write HTML. Or forget about that. Take it to ChatGPT and say, I have my website. I need to embed this URL and make it appear like a widget on my website. It will wrap that your public link around a regular HTML code, and you can copy that, put it in the index file for your website, and you have it there. Okay. How do we deal with error in workflow? Error in workflow, anything can cause the error. You already have AI to screenshot and post it there and ask for questions. That's what I do. If I get into error, you will get a lot of errors. You can't run away from errors, right? So you can always screenshot it and then take it to ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, and then ask it questions, and you'll be able to figure it out. Everything we are doing on the cloud, is it possible to locally install one, like sending messages? If you are hosting it locally, you yourself know locally means it's not connected to all those other things. So I have explained locally for us. It's just for us to be able to learn for now. But when you want to do the real thing, use the cloud. It has more features. It has a whole lot of things there. If I host my desktop and workflow trigger at 7 a.m., if my desktop is not on at that time, that's one of the downtime for hosting it locally. It will not work because it is on your system. So that's again, when we start using this thing, you will use the cloud. It's better that way. And people will be paying for it, or you are spending money, you are getting value from it. So you need to use the cloud. For David says about the triggers. How are we going to know the suitable triggers for each workflow? That is you. You know the problem you are solving. You need to understand your business flow, workflow first before you even come down to AI automation. Understand your business workflow. Every day, this is where our training starts, or this is the first thing we do in the business, and then followed by this, and followed by this, and followed by this. You need to understand your own flow. It is your flow that you want to translate to what AI can help you with in terms of automation. So there is no one answer to that, David. It has to be what you are doing. For 7 days, what happens to the Google Sheet? I finished mine, my meeting was created, but the Google Sheet was not updated. Where do we see the summary of the meeting? Okay, you did a meeting. The summary of the meeting should get to your mail. I think we didn't complete it. So I was just kind of taking it step by step. Okay, we can still fine tune what we've built, make sure it is more robust. So we don't just want to rush all through. Teachers without wall. What happens when I execute my first input and the output is showing empty? Secondly, I saw that my input and output are not marked with good things, but is marked with triangles. When you are seeing triangles there, that means something is still wrong in your configuration. So you need to probably pause the video, go back there, and then check one by one to be sure that what is supposed to be there, it's there. So you've got to do that and figure that out yourself. Thank you. Okay, okay, all right. Thrive is say I tried to set up an AI agent on my locally hosted anything. I ran into problems. I was not able to proceed. Got stuck on Google Cloud saying I had billing issues. No luck with fix. That is why I'm not sure you've checked today's video. Today's video addressed how to get your Google Cloud account that you can now use locally. That's what I did today, so that you will be able to do that. Again, I'm emphasizing it. Local is local. You can't compare that with what you get when you're using the cloud. When you've done the learning and you want to continue to explore and do more and test out all those things, because if you want to use local, you need to go through different routes to ensure that all those things work the way they should work. And it's a lot of stress out there for people that you are going to be building for. I guess 95% of them you will build it for them on the cloud, not local. All right. You don't have access to the newsletter, just go to olaleko.com. No, olaleko.substack.com. Maybe I should be dropping those things in the chat. Same thing for the quiz. Same thing for the quiz. If you have not been receiving newsletter, I have dropped the link there. So just go to the Substack and then subscribe. You will be getting the newsletter. Can the credit I got from signing up from on a standalone on a no, you can't use that on Docker. You can't use that. So you need your own OpenAI keys. So how did I generate OpenAI keys from Trigger Though? I shared the video today. It's in day 8 class. So check that out. How do we get a one-on-one coaching on AI? I'm sorry, I can't do one-on-one. Even this one I'm doing is already adding a lot to my workload. I can't do one-on-one coaching, not at this time. Okay, so I've got a lot going on. I observed that on chat message, we are the one that sets how chatbots will respond to our user, e.g., your AI. That is the system prompt. For system prompt, you've got to tell your agent how your agent should work or what the task is. Remember, I said for AI agents, you want to tell it everything. This is what I want you to do. This is how I want you to do. It's not as if it will just stay glued to that. It will remember that while getting input and you know what, responding to it. Okay, so it can really help you in that regard. I have set up Docker but can't add free API. I think I've answered that. I need more explanation on how to write valuable prompt. You want to write prompt, continue to practice on ChatGPT, on all those platforms. Continue to write prompts. Iterate. A lot of us will write one prompt and we just stop it there. No, when you write your prompt, don't accept the first thing from any of those models. Give it feedback and say, you know what, I don't like this. Can you give me something better? Can you modify it to, look at this direction? You continue to iterate. And I have a video where I talked about different frameworks for writing prompts. You give it role, you give it context, you give example, you give it audience, a whole lot of things that you can do. Okay, so I think I have videos on my Facebook and TikTok on that. Are there applications used for workflow apart from anything? Of course, there is make.com, there is Zapier. I think Google just launched Oplus or something. So there are a whole lot of them out there, a whole lot. And a lot of people are building new platforms too. Something that I haven't mentioned, right? Something that I haven't mentioned is you can create workflows using I didn't want to mention that at first, but let me just mention it here. Look at this icon here that says build with AI. If I click on it, you can describe the kind of workflow you want to build and it will help you out. Let's say a chatbot that um that receives messages on WhatsApp and use AI agent to respond back to the user, maybe something like that, and I type it out here. So we are using AI to build AI agents. Okay, so if I type this out, it will come up with the nodes there for me. But I will now go inside the nodes and configure the nodes myself. It may not be accurate every time, so that's why you need to learn too. But this is there. It can help you, write it out and do something. In fact, you can go to ChatGPT and say, I'm using anything. I need you to write me the JSON for this particular workflow. And it will create it and you can import it here and it will build the nodes and you continue to tweak and edit. Mohiz, but with AI agent, we don't enter prompt. With AI agent, we added system prompts. You've forgotten, we added system prompts. Even the model itself, you can tell it what you want it to do. Why don't you have a Google Drive link and store all the materials you use to train us? All the materials I have shared, there are videos. There are videos that I've shared, and the prompts and some other things are in the newsletters that I've also shared. So if you haven't been receiving the newsletters, go to the Substack, subscribe, and you can see even the previous newsletters too. So what else do we have here? Can I publish when using Looker? You can publish, but it will only work when you are available online. Okay. Look at this. I wrote, look at what I wrote here. I said a chatbot that receives messages on WhatsApp and use AI agent to respond. And look at what it built. See, everything here, it did it itself. He did this. He added a WhatsApp trigger, added workflow configuration, added AI agents, added the model window buffer, and then send WhatsApp. See what I said? You will now come here now. You will now come here and then configure the WhatsApp. So you create that. We'll still do that later. So you configure everything here and you have a workflow. So I didn't want to mention this at first. So this is how it can even help you. Okay, Olatokunbo, okay, Brain, I already shared the Substack. Just subscribe to the Substack there, and you will be able to receive the newsletter. In I'll be 60 in a couple of months. Wow. Um, and I used to be a developer. I was involved in automation using Linux, but I got bored at some point and then switched to network engineering and infrastructure. That's cool. Okay. Some YouTubers recommend anti-gravity than anything. Anti-gravity was launched maybe a month or maximum 2 months ago. I'm not sure. A few months ago, it was launched a few months ago. So, you can still be testing it out just to see how it works and all that. So this is it. And I'm not sure it's doing the same thing as building a workflow. This is anti-gravity. So you want to download, it's an IDE with next generation IDE. So a lot of people are still exploring this. Google launched it a few weeks, a few months ago. And I know they have workflow, they have one too, workflow platform. I think it is Opios or something. They've got something that they created. So I'll still pick it up if I check. Um, Let me AI Studio. Okay, if I check it there, it's there. They have it. Um, but the output is still showing empty. You need to check again. Somebody saying, "Can we open a WhatsApp?" We have Telegram. We have Telegram. So if you are not on Telegram, I am typing. I'm typing the URL in the chat. If you are not on, if you are not on Telegram, I have typed that so you can check that out and be part of the Telegram. When I received license key, I was trying to activate it and it wasn't activating at all, showing me that the local host refused connection. What do I do? You know one thing, if you go back and try to rehost it again, you will get a new license key. When you go back there, you get a new license key for local host and you can test that out. What could be wrong with my PC and the Docker app? If you are using a Windows system, Fasoya Margaret, it's better that you go to the Windows Microsoft Store, go to Microsoft Store and try to install it from there. So I prefer installing from Microsoft Store than just downloading it from a browser and then I try to install. When you install from Microsoft Store, the installation most of the time do go smoothly. So just try it on from the Microsoft Store. Same thing, Bolu Matthew. Just try and install it from Microsoft Store. You should be fine. I hope I haven't jumped any question here now. Okay. Okay, I'm Thomas from Liberia. Can one API key be used on multiple workflows? Mm, mm. Yes, if you are sure that you are the one that is, in fact, that's why you need to keep your API keys. You have to guard it jealously. um, if you notice in the videos that I did today, I blocked out my keys, so you can use multiple keys on different projects. It is better you guard it jealously, because it can implicate one. Somebody can be using it to do something else. So yes, you can use the same API key on multiple projects if you are the one, doing it, you know what you're doing. The API key is just to connect to the source. It's connecting to that application. Okay. If you're building for different people and they've paid for their own API keys, you can create a separate account for them, allow them to create account, fund it so that it will be deducting it there. But some people will prefer to collect money from them and then people use their own personal API keys to service all the people they are delivering services for. It depends on the customer, it depends on your own approach to business too. Okay, it depends on you. But personally, some of my friends would say the way I do my own thing is different. I would prefer that the person creates an account and then fund it with their own money, and then they deduct their own credits while using their own API keys. Pay me for my work, and then you can continue to do your work. Anytime you want to come back to me, then for upgrades, then you can come back, pay me, I do my work. I don't want to be managing a lot of people's API accounts and payments and all that. No, just fund your own whatever, pay for my job, let me do my job and go. But it depends on what you want. It depends on you. It depends on how you want to do your thing. Okay. It depends on that. Tobal, shout out to you from Liberia. Watch all. Okay, simplify. What's the difference between lecture 6 and 7? I'm not sure I even remember my lecture 6 and 7. Let me check it here. 6 and 7. Okay, I'm sure they are different. Six, where is 6, 4, 5, 6? 6, we created it to just chat. 7, we used AI agents, and that one is more intelligent in quotes than what we did in 6. Okay, what we built in 7 is more intelligent than what we did in 6. 6 was just to introduce us to it and just do something simple, but 7, we built on it. In fact, what we did in 7 is not even like very comprehensive enough. We can still build on it, we can still add to it. Is it possible to update our AI agents? I'm not sure I understand the question. If your question is it possible to still, add different things here? You can add more tools here for it to work. So you can do a whole lot of things, Teleadego, shout out to you from Atlanta. Probably when I come around in March, I should stop there too, like I did last year in Atlanta. Maybe let's say I'm running locally on Docker. Do I need to be online at all times? If you have workflows that will rely on different things that are online, of course you've got to be online. That's why I said big companies, big organizations that want to do their own automation locally will have a server, and the server is running 247, and they do all their things there. They don't want to push it there. So that's them. But if you don't have that capacity to ensure your system runs real time every now and then, use the cloud, which it's perfect for our work. Can you talk about AI automation market? I think I spoke briefly about it. I spoke briefly about it a few days ago. I spoke about it. Yes, the market is growing. It's growing in the sense that many businesses, a lot of businesses, even here in Nigeria, everybody wants to, save cost and be more efficient. So I've got people that are selling customer service chatbots is top on the list. You've got people doing even calls too. What we did with chat, you can as well do with calls. That you integrate like a call, somebody will call your number and the AI agent will pick up the call based on the system prompt, based on all the information about your company. And then the AI agent will be responding, hello, oh, thanks for calling Ayinde Shoes. Oh, we sell the, all those texts will now be in form of voice. We've got people selling that. So in fact, somebody in Canada said he did something that he went on Indeed and he started looking for companies that are interested in employing receptionists. He was not looking for that job, but he looked up their names, then check out their website, use their website to create the voice agents for them. And then he reached out to them and say, I saw that you're looking for a receptionist. I've got something that can do the job of a receptionist. And then he was able to do the demo for them. And the agent was talking about their businesses as if, they are there and some other things. That's something that people are also looking forward to. You've got a lot of businesses using WhatsApp. You don't just want your WhatsApp to just respond, something that you've pre-typed there. You want it to be able to think at every point in time based on the system prompt and act and even, do the orders, send to the logistics and do a whole lot of things. So the market is huge. It depends on you how you are able to kind of work it out. In education sector, schools are thinking of a way to be more closer to their students, be more closer to their parents. In different sector, it's just about you. You've got hospital that are leveraging all this to kind of do a lot of work. So you keep learning, you go out there on LinkedIn, on Upwork, on Indeed. You can look up the kind of request on Upwork, for example, and you'll be surprised seeing a whole lot of posting for people looking for who can help them do all this. And all the examples that you've done, plus other things, are what you populate there as things that you've done before. There are things that you've done before and it will sell you. So I've been seeing some people, they record their videos about the sessions and they talk about it. I tell you, that helps. I read a book called Show Your Work. That book is really cool. It talks about people talking about what they know, sharing, even if you don't know it like 100%, the little you're talking about it. You will be shocked that somebody somewhere on LinkedIn, on X, on Facebook can just send you inbox and say, I've been seeing your videos about automation. I think I need you to help me do something, you know. Um, Adegun, I appreciate your time and would like to support you with gifts for the quiz winner. Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I will okay. I will look up your mail and try and reach out. Okay. So for the winners, you've got more gifts now. Let me see, where are we? Wow. And I don't want to miss anything. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, okay, okay. I'm still facing problem on Docker. Okay, use cloud. Let's assume AI agent we did yesterday. When customers make inquiries about the goods, that's from Ayola. They want to buy, how will they get the price and how will the payment be integrated before delivery? This is why I said what we built, we only did like a small thing. So you can still add to it. You can, your price tag and every other thing, you can feed it there. There's still what we call RAG. You know, I've mentioned it before. We can still plug that in there so that all the information about your business is there in terms of prices and some other things. And then you want to integrate Stripe, you want to integrate different payment nodes that we have there. There is Stripe here, there is Paystack, I think. Yeah. Yeah, there is PayPal rather, not Paystack. There is PayPal, there is Razorpay, there is Stripe. I think Stripe and Paystack, they had one kind of collaboration recently or partnership sort of. So maybe if you're using Paystack, maybe you'll be able to route that around Stripe. So you will be able to do all these things together, and they just get the receipt or they get something and they go ahead and do the payment. So the possibilities are endless. It depends on our own imagination, and then you build it step by step. You've got AI that can always help you. Even here, look at this N8N AI here. You can even ask it questions, go to ChatGPT. You can continue. That's why I keep telling people that you've got no excuse, no excuse whatsoever with AI. Many of the things that I do tell people, oh, I can't do this, I don't know it. Now bring it on, because I know I've got AIs that can help me do some of those things. I tried to install, but it did not work. Maybe that has to do with your system. You can try to restart the system or try it on another system, but again, like I always say, stick with the cloud. If it expires, we know what you do now. Create another email address and use it to get another 14 days till you start getting good jobs, and then you can pay for the application, since you're going to be building for people. After publishing my project, Oluwakayode, I don't see the link again. Where can I get link to after publishing your project? You after I don't understand the question, but if your question is you've published, you still need the link. Let me go back to all the projects here. This is customer. You can just double click in there, and then you will still see your public URL here. You still see your public URL. For many of us that have been saying, oh, my chat is not responding outside the anything, when you take it to the public, it's because you've been using the anything OpenAI keys. So you need your own keys. And it's not as if it's going to use up your money. I think I just dropped maybe $20 there for a while now, for almost a year. Although it's not as if I'm using it heavily for training, but it's still there. It's not something that will just go off quickly, or you just use it up quickly. Mary Ayola, when customer make inquiry, okay, I think I've responded to that. Can Docker work on another app? I don't know. I don't understand. Can Docker work for another app? Yes. Docker in itself it's a container. You have different applications that you want to run on your computer. Let's say you don't want to, in quotes, take it inside your computer whole as a whole. You just want it, everything about that application should stay within a container like your water bottle or your bath or your box. You want everything to just stay in there. So that's container, that's Docker. You use it for different things. So our anything, we want to put it inside that Docker, and so that all the dependencies will be there. We don't need to still install something else to make it work. We want everything it needs to stay inside that container and to allow it to work. Yes. The chatbot doesn't reply message. I already responded. If you're taking it outside, it's because you're using the free one. How much can we charge if we want to do it? There is no direct answer to this. Okay, so this is what you can do. Some of us, we have our per hour charges. Okay, so you can start from there. You know your per hour charges. So that's why I tell people I can't teach you one-on-one, because if you say this is the amount you pay, some of them will be saying this is and this and that. So if your charges $50 per hour, $80 per hour, then look at how long it will take you to complete that particular workflow. So if the workflow will take you like 10 hours, of course, you are multiplying your per hour by 10 or by 20. At times, we also look at the clients. Okay, if the client is a corporate business and they should pay more, you know how to charge them. If you're just one small business owner trying to just leverage AI, there's a way you'd go about that also. So it depends on you. So I'm not going to say this is the amount that you should charge, because projects varies too. Some projects are just simple, some projects are just complex. I also do data analytics. I analyze data for people. So some 1,000, the highest maybe for one company in Texas will probably be 5,000 for a work done over like 3 weeks or so. So it depends on the client. It depends on the job to start. I think that hourly rate works. So look at yourself and say this is how much you charge per hour. Um, yeah. Now that I have not been able to practicalize, I don't know why, Margaret. The videos are always there. I don't know why you've not been able to practice. If you have computer, sign up for free on na10.io, then you'll be able to practice. Somebody has been managing with a mobile phone too, although the person complained that it has not been easy. Definitely, because when you are dragging all those things, you want to expand, you want to write, it's not going to be easy. So I don't know why, Margaret, you say you've been unable to practice. The videos will remain there on all those platforms that you can always check. Please, I want you to help build a website. You want me to build a website for you, or your Mode LTV? Hmm. I'm not going to tell you what yes, my business, my company, we can develop website for you. Maybe you can go on that Telegram and then send me a message there. We can pick it up from there. How can I send you my Docker screenshot? I did not allow links and images on Telegram. It's just to, prevent spam and a whole lot of things on that platform. But if you're on Facebook, you are commenting, people are helping others there. Okay, I have addressed your virtualization support. I've addressed it in detail, inside Telegram, on Facebook. I've addressed it. I said, shut down your system, put it back on. While it is coming up, press escape until it opens up that black screen, and then it will tell you to press a key to take you to the BIOS. It depends on your laptop. It could be F10. You press F10, it takes you to the BIOS. In the BIOS, you look for the where you'll be able to enable virtualization there. So once you enable it there, you shut down your system, you restart, then virtualization will have been resolved. So just follow up with that and you'll be able to sort it out. Okay, Michael, from Dubai. All right. Shout out to you from Dubai. My name is Alma from Sierra Leone. Please, are we going to have access to the project that we are doing after the free trial? After the free trial, you know what I would say you should do, right? Everything that you've done here, you can export it. So let me show you. If you come to you can download it, rather, three dots, see download there. If you click on download, I have downloaded it. Look at it, customer.json. So you can download the files. Come to these three dots and then look at download here. So download it and let it be on your system. So even if you sign in on another system, just come here again and import from file. Then choose that file. When you import that file, then everything will come up like this and you can continue to work. So you can download. In fact, by the time we are wrapping up, I will share lots of ready-made template for you. I will share some for you that you can just modify, use them to learn. And if somebody wants you to help them do something that is close to that, you can easily use it. So Alma, yeah, you can just download everything and keep it on your system. it's safer that way. So when you sign into another account, you can always upload it, or upload it on your local host too if you're not planning to subscribe again. Can I say, okay, I've done that. How can I use AI automation in cyber security? Okay, in cybersecurity, you want to send in code for people to confirm. You want different things. I'm not even going to say something is popping to my head now, but you can use it to do different things. Okay, let me see. See what I'm doing now. I'm even typing everything you asked me inside ChatGPT here. So I'm not going to say I know everything, and that's the world we live in. You need to know how to know what you don't know. Okay, so that's probably what I tell people my strength. I know how to know what I don't know. I've got people within my network that I can run to when I have issues with certain things, and I know how to use AI very well. I know how to talk to it. So in cybersecurity, you want to use it to collect network traffic, deal with emails, monitor cloud activities, block alerts. Depending on you, detect malware. My brother is the one who is a cybersecurity expert. Videos are on YouTube and on Facebook too. So if you search for Ben Shimola, I've shared a couple of his videos on Facebook. It's my blood brother. So my big brother, he does a lot around cybersecurity and tech and what have you. So you can even ask AI too how you can use it in cybersecurity. Can the chatbot we build be embedded in website? Of course, I've responded that you can embed it in websites. Okay, you can build a chat that can help you post on your Facebook page, even do all those things, embed it inside your messenger. Yes, you can do that. We will still do um, workflows that will deal with what do we call it, social media. In fact, I just finished this one. That's what we are going to be doing tomorrow. Let's see, where is it? This is what we are going to be doing tomorrow. I did something that will generate posts for me, for my LinkedIn, for my social media. I want this one now will you know go to the internet, search for trending topics on my trending news on my topic. I can give it a time frame. It could be within 1 hour, within 5 days, within 6 days. So I want it to be something current. I want to write on Facebook or LinkedIn on something that is trending, that is current. So it would fetch it here. Then it goes inside AI agent. I said it should fetch like three different news about my topic that is trending. Then give those three news or write-ups, give it to my AI agent, and my AI agent will now act as an expert at writing LinkedIn post or Facebook post, and then help me put the three articles together to come up with a post suitable for Facebook or LinkedIn. And then it will write it and also help me populate it in an Excel sheet. So I'll just go there, copy, and then paste. So this is it. This is the Excel sheet. It will pick my topic. So I will just fill in what I want to talk about here. So it will check online, gather enough news, feed my agent will write it. See, it wrote LinkedIn, wrote Facebook, and it will also update the status there that it has created it. So next time it is running, it will redo line one again or row two here, since it has been created, because I said it should always look for to do status. You should pick anyone with to do, write about the topic, and then put the content here. So I will just copy the content here, post wherever I want to post. So I can tell this to run every day. So every day it's running. I can even tell it to send this to me via mail or send it to me on Telegram. So this is what we'll be doing tomorrow. I just finished this before the live. So there are still a lot of things that we can learn. I will not tell you that I know everything in anything. No, I'm also learning too. So they are adding new features. You're learning by the day. I will learn. I would like to learn the business side of automation. I think I've addressed that. Can we team up and subscribe for anything? If you want to team up and subscribe for anything, if you have people that you want to trust yourself, maybe you want to have an email that all of you will put together. It depends on you. So that's on you if you want to do that. Okay. If you are in a company, I think they've got enterprise for business owners, so that you are not just buying for individuals in your business. You can just buy one which is for um, enterprise. Okay. Please. Okay, I think I've seen that. What is the minimum price? Okay, I think I've responded to that. I am in Nigeria. Okay, somebody asked a question here. I have Visual Studio, and anytime I'm running my Docker, on running the Docker only was hanging. I don't know. So if you're running Visual Studio at the same time you are running your Docker, I don't know, anything can be wrong. Maybe your RAM, maybe your processor. It depends on that. So if you are not using a high-end system, maybe it's not going to be able to run those two applications at the same time. Because yes, your Docker will be using a lot of RAM, Visual Studio too. Maybe you're writing codes and doing a whole lot of things there, probably using more RAM too. So it could be your RAM. Maybe you want to upgrade to maybe 16 gig, 32 gig RAM, and some other things. But if you're thinking about going forward, you want to go fully into AI and you want to be running your model or offline, then you need a system with dedicated GPU. So I had to, delay upgrading my system last year to ensure that I was able to get the one that will allow me run AI model offline. So I can run model without even be on the internet. I had to put the whole of OpenAI on my system. I've got DeepSeek on my system, one for images and videos too. So you need, apart from your RAM, you can also get dedicated GPU, for it. It's going to be very expensive now, but it depends on what you are trying to do. Can you share the link to your brother YouTube channel? I'll look for it and share. Good evening. Please, I'm unable to receive email. For those of all you've not received email, I've shared my Substack, or just Google my name, Olalekan Adieko Substack. It will show you the link and you can subscribe. Do one need to know or do any kind of penetrate testing after AI automation system is designed? When you're done with your workflow, of course, you've got to do a lot of testing to be sure that it will do the work before you give it out to the person. You want to ensure it is doing what it's supposed to do. How can I better make use of anything in Docker since I have it installed? How can I link my Gmail? That's what we did today. Adeni Dada, watch today's video. We addressed that. Winners Chapel, how can we use their school email to subscribe? You can use any email to subscribe. I'm not sure they have a plan to probably subsidize for educational institutions like Microsoft or Google when it comes to some of their products, but you can use any email. For the cloud, once it expires, can we access the workflow? Like I said, download your workflow. Don't even kind of risk it. Download your workflow. You will be able to access it, but your workflow will not run. You need to just download it and do something. How to handle LLM into localhost? We will still do that. We only dealt with um the Google Cloud account. I think I did OpenAI key today too. So you can get your key and use it there. And we will still need to work our way around the redirect too. So localhost will give us a lot of headaches, but it is just for us to be able to bypass that 14 days trial. But it's going to be a lot of work. What platform do I use for my video recordings? I use different things. At times I use OBS, but recently I use Canva. On Canva you can screen record on Canva too. So I record on Canva, I edit it on Canva. For my mobile, I prefer to use edits by Instagram for if I'm using the phone to record. So that's that. Power BI workshop. I have videos on Excel on Power BI too. How can I use AI automation in academics? So any field at all, just think about all those bottlenecks. Think about all those repetitive tasks that you do. Think about all those things and then say, how can I help myself? How can I automate some of these processes? So whether in academic or in any field at all, you can use it in any field. Okay, any field at all, you can use it anywhere depending on you. It's just for you to be able to find your way around it. Okay, just think about it. Okay, I'm happy the virtualization is working now. Cool. Connect Google to anything on Docker. Watch the video we did today. The question has been answered there. The name of the laptop of my laptop, I'm using Microsoft Surface Studio. Um, so as a virtual assistant, can I use automation? It's for you, virtual assistant. You deal with emails, you do with schedule, you do with a whole lot of things. Yes, you can help wherever you're supporting in terms of automating. People call, you record the calls, you follow leads, you create meetings. Of course, you can. Oluwaseun, you can. To run Deca, the minimum requirement of those are okay. Okay, thank you for that. Please, I hope the records of the live, it will be there. I'm not deleting the records, it will be there. Opeyemi, I did the same thing. Okay. Is there a way to protect my built AI workflow is it hackable, or I have to run another program to secure it? You can't be too if you know how to still secure whatever you're doing, please do. But I want to believe on their platform. I want to believe it's secure. A lot of people are using the platforms. But again, big corporations prefer to run it on their own server, and their server runs 247. So that's what they do. But it depends on what you want to do. Videos on Power BI. You can check my Facebook page. I think I have it on TikTok too. Not sure. Okay. I would like to Google Calendar because we only connect and configure, but not really understand it. We will still do something around it. Adiola, please the registration, you don't need registration to join. The essence of the registration is to be able to send you newsletters. That's all. So Google Olalekan Adieko Substack. Subscribe to the Substack. You will be able to get the newsletter every day. Okay. And somebody asked a question: are we going to get certificate? Oh, I did not plan for certificate for this. But if we want certificates, I'll probably need to use the platform I use for our certification, so that it's not just going to be something designed on Canva and then it's just like that. No, it's going to be something that will have um, a certificate number that is trackable, that can be added to LinkedIn. I'll think around that because that service is not free. So I do tell people you don't need certificate, right? If you know what you are doing and you have evidences to show for it in terms of what you've done before and you can prove yourself. But I understand too, in some cases you probably need certificates. So maybe I will ask those that are interested in certificates later when we are done, probably 25, 26, 27th day. We'll probably see how it goes. If you have a larger number of people, I'll probably consider that. Can I make the team as black? Yeah, I am using the okay. Maybe some of you are saying you can't see this clearly. Oops. So you want me to use the dark version? Okay. I can change it to the dark theme. I can change it to the dark theme. Um, my N10 could not find columns in my Google Sheet. Please, what can I do? You know what? Create a new workflow, create a new sheet, follow the video. Let's be sure that you're not missing out on anything there. Do we get to learn till we can become a pro with anything? You know what I do tell people? You don't need to wait till you know everything before you start telling people this is what you do. That can be your learning curve. What I believe now is, tell me to do anything, I'll do it though. Because there are people that have done things before. There are videos on YouTube. There is AI here and there. So if you tell people you are an AI automation guy and they give you a job to do, you know that it is do or die, right? And that is a motivation in itself that will propel you and make you dig your head in YouTube and AI to fix that particular thing. So with what you know, now at least you know how to drag notes, you know what something, start telling people this is what you do. So when you get that kind of job, it will help you to accelerate your learning because you don't want to disappoint. Do companies hire for position of AI automation? Yes. And there are also a lot of freelance job around it. What kind of away from it, what you really know again that one can learn in the future? A lot. We'll still talk about this later. So I think this is 8 p.m. We will do this again next week. So if I haven't answered your questions, you can still ask it on Telegram or on Facebook. I'm sure other people will also respond to you too. So I don't want to go beyond 8 p.m. We'll do this again next week. The quiz will be out soon. For those of us that missed out on the quiz, it will be out for this second week, and join. And let's keep engaging, let's practice, let's support ourselves. I will see you again next week. The video will be on, so I'm not going to delete it. If you missed the live, you can always come here and follow through. Okay, yes. So Shotonde, it's do or die. Oh, that's life. If you give yourself, box yourself and say, I must do this, and that's one way to challenge yourself. So at times I tell people I will do this, and then I know I've said it and I've got to do it. So let's keep pushing. Let's support ourselves. The Telegram link again. It's there. I'm putting it there again as I close anything. Data. Substack.com, Olalekan / quiz. So these are the links that you requested for. So God bless you too, and we'll do this again next